Morning folks, Baz Garage Strongman here. Bit of DIY today. We're going to make some pinch grip blocks. If you've been following me for a while, I've been increasing my sort of grip training with different means, bought a few bits of kit. This is something I think we can make, so if I can make it, you can make it too. Please enjoy this little video, step-by-step guide, and get making. In terms of materials, all we need is some wood. Just got some offcuts here. Be helpful if some of them are at least in one dimension, the right size, just so there's less to cut. Initially I'd had this big piece, which I thought that'd be nice. But it's quite big, so it's going to require some cutting, and I found these little bits in my shed. So we'll measure those up now and see exactly what I want. Then you're going to need some of these. There's probably other methods available, but I saw these in B&Q, caught my eye, just a couple of quid for a pack of 4. They're actually expansion bolts for going into breeze blocks and things, but you don't need that part. You just need the bolt with a bit of an eye hook on there, nut and washer. Anything will do really, but they seemed a decent length. And again, if your wood is going to be roughly the right length or the same length as these, it's just one less cut you're going to have to do. So yeah, I'd buy these first, see what you can get, and then sort of pick your wood accordingly, I would. And in terms of equipment, start with, you're going to need a tape measure and a straight edge, or a big rule if you've got one, and a pen to mark up your wood, which I'll do shortly. You're going to need a saw to cut it to size. Workbench is ideal just to hold it for you, otherwise you're going to be working off a table, which I was going to do, but then the wood starts moving about and things. So make it as easy as you can for yourself. Once we've cut, we're going to need a drill. I'm just going to use my handheld, but thinking about it, you know, one of those drill drivers. Recently bought that, great bit of kit, but to be honest, I'm probably going to go with the electric drill, Black and Deck, just to make sure I've got enough power, not faffing about. I want to blast straight through that initial hole to receive the pin. So I want to get a nice straight hole in one take, rather than sometimes faffing about. It's great for little jobs, but going through a big piece of wood, potentially to, you know, that sort of depth, I want to get straight through it. And then you're going to need, well, it's optional, but you might want to sand them down. So what I've actually brought is my angle grinder. So I got a wood sort of chamfering, is that the word? Sort of sanding head on that, which I can just get rid of these sharp edges and any sort of splinters and stuff, you know, a bit soft afterwards, just to tart it up. So let's go. First off, if we plan how thick we want these things, and if we go, you know, measure these on my grip, we got there. So that would be a 2-inch, a 3-inch, and maybe a 4-inch. I don't think 5 is going to be any use to me. So although I've got 4 pins, I'll probably make 4 at some point. I'm just going to make 2 today, and I think I'm going to start with this block, which is 2x4, I suppose. 2x4 inches, which is, oh, you know, it's metric equivalent, but it's basically a offcut of a bit of 2x4. So I'm thinking initially I'd like to have 2-inch grippers, so I can work 2 hands together. And then if I cut this up into 2 different segments, I can have maybe a 3-inch and a 4-inch. So I should probably do, that's 8 inches, so that would be plenty. So yeah, I cut a bit off. I'll have so in terms of my grip, I'll have the 2, so one will be 2x3 and one will be 2x4. I might have shown, this wood is nearly the right size in that dimension. So what I'll do, I'll just countersink that top bit a little bit, and that'll save us having to cut it in that, cut any off the depth. So yeah, make it as easy as you can for yourselves, folks. In this way I'm only going to make one cut and another cut just to take the end off. Two cuts, and that should be it. Happy days. Obviously, if I want to make bigger ones in the future, which I probably will, that's a lovely piece of wood that's already sort of chamfered on the edges there. I'm going to have to make a few tedious cuts there. I'm going to have to cut down there and the edges. So there's a lot of cuts in that much thicker piece of wood. And I'm not a big fan of sawing, particularly just with my hand saw. So I've measured up my first piece of wood. I'm not going to do the two cuts together because something might go wrong with this cut. So I'm going to cut that first, and that should give me a 2-inch and a 3-inch grip facility. My apologies for my shocking colour coordination today. I didn't think I'd be filming myself. I'm certainly not planning on going anywhere, so I won't go and show my local town's population my outfit. I will, however, share it with countless tens, singles of people on YouTube. I'm sure you don't really need to see me using a saw. I'm not the best at it anyway. Let's just make sure. Tight there. Try and keep it straight. I'm sawing from the wrong side. And I just bent the leg, which is not a big stand on. So as I say, pretty useless in terms of DIY, but I think I can probably get these made. So there's my first block made. We've got 2 inches there and 3 inches there. So there's my two blocks. I've got two, both of them are twos, 2x3 and a 2x4. Be quite the challenge, but I can do one in each hand with the two. So I'm quite happy with those at the moment. They're not perfectly square, they don't need to be. I'm now going to mark up, try the drill directly down through there with that thickness of drill bit, and we'll be nearly there. And as my block was slightly too long, I think it probably makes it nicer anyway, I've just countersunk down with this in there, which is a little tricky with the hole dug already. So I would advise you do the countersinking a little bit first, as I will on the next block. I have to tidy that with a bit of sandpaper now. So I haven't tidied up yet or chamfered. I just shoved that in there now, and you'll see that top bit, once I've tightened that up, will be sunk nicely down in there. That hanging out there. So that's obviously you need a carabiner then to hang your weight pins, your loading pins on. So that's about it. I'll go away now and tidy that up with a bit of buffing with the angle grinder, a bit of sandpaper on there, get that looking a little bit nicer, a little bit smoother. I don't want to get any splinters, and then I'll show you the finished article. Just sanding off the edges now with this. There we go, folks, there's my two finished articles. I've just given them a bit of a buff off with some sandpaper, make the wood look a little bit nicer. Tied it around there, screw them in, bolt them in, I have to say. So that's my two together like that. That's 2 inch, 3 inch, another 2 inch, and then 4 inch, which is going to be a real challenge, but let's go and give them a go. 20 kilos, just go with the 2 inch grip, which is actually quite a challenge. I'm just going to test this hand. Oh! Woo! Let's try the 3 inch. I think that might be actually easier. Yeah. Surprising. Didn't think that initially. Oh! Whoa!